Go live. Come on. There we go. Oh my god. Sorry I'm late. It's just uh work. Anyways, welcome. Sorry I'm late. It's just caught up with something at work and I had to do it. I was like, oh shit. I'm missing something, but hey. Um Let me share this real quick. Here we go. Welcome. Thank you, Shuni. I must hire you for my secretary. Anyways, welcome. Sorry I'm late. Let's get right into it. We discussed Saturday what the mess was with Treyarch saying that Black Ops Cold War was part of the Modern Warfare universe, but also that this new Modern Warfare was before Black Ops 2. And if you noticed in the campaign, there's many holes, and even the bigger hole that it cannot be answered with the threat of Perseus. Because if you put Perseus above Dragovich, above Sakaev, above Menendez, you messed up. You messed up a lot because you have established before that your lore that Menendez was working by himself and he was a great villain. Dragovich was working by himself and he's a great villain. Sakaev in the Modern Warfare universe, even his son, were threats in their respective titles. And now you put one above them when you expand from that bad guy from the 81, 82. Well, not even that. The from the fucking Manhattan Project, you're saying that Perseus all the way towards 2025 is the bad guy, and you haven't had a mention of him, not even a hint that Menendez might have been working on it. You messed up because you have established in those games individually Menendez is a threat in the future in 2025. You established in the Modern Warfare universe that Sakaev, Imram, and Victor are the threats of that universe. You established that Dragovich was the threat in Black Ops 1. To actually put a villain above them, that screws up the whole timelines because you never mentioned him. He was so secret, and even that, he's not the villain for the entire series. He's the villain just for Adler because he's the introduction of a new character, and instead of him helping Mason and Woods get Menendez, you're putting him against a baddie that supposedly controls everything. That he is not only infiltrated the US government, but he has also infiltrated high establishments of the Soviet government in Russia. So, with all those fuck ups, you really need to do one thing to actually make it make sense. And that is reboot Black Ops 2. You gotta reboot the whole series. You cannot say this is a soft like Cold War. Oh no, it's a soft reboot of the no. You gotta reboot Black Ops 2, which means Treyarch, you got time. Get in contact with James. Get in contact with Rich McDonald. With Kamar Reyes. I'm missing. Get in contact with the whole Black Ops 2 cast again. Reboot the series. There's no In rebooting the series, you fix a lot of the mistakes that you have made for Black Ops 3 and for Black Ops 4. Because Black Ops 4 never had a campaign. That's one of the things that was like a negative for me, and I didn't buy the game. I Black Ops 3, I tried to play it as through, but that I wasn't getting adjusted to the system. The only reason that I played a little bit more in Infinite Warfare, even though it's the same advanced movement, I think it was guns felt a little bit more familiar, but I still had trouble. Um, I didn't buy World War II. I didn't buy Black Ops 4. So what do we do? We have to um, reboot the series, but how do you do it? Well, it has to make sense from the Modern Warfare perspective, because right now, Modern Warfare in Warzone, it's when the nuke went out, it was 2021. So what do? You have to introduce in Modern Warfare 2 Commander Mason, Commander David Mason, richest character has to be introduced with his team. Harper, Salazar, Crosby, Admiral Reigns has to be in the plane. Even how I explained it in the video in Modern Warfare, it has to be like, almost like that in order for it to make sense. Because if you force it during the campaign that they're trying to fight Menendez and Sakaev together, um, then it doesn't make sense because you created some alternate endings. And I understand that people like alternate endings, but in Call of Duty, we had problems with it in Black Ops 2 because then for Black Ops 3, it doesn't make sense. Well, it never made sense, Black Ops 3. So, anyways, going back to it. So, the only way to actually fix this is reboot Black Ops 2. And you got to establish it with the Modern Warfare now. So whatever's going for Modern Warfare 2, you got to take pieces of it. You have to make it like a side introduction to Commander Mason and his group, and say, "Hey, we got intel. Now you go and find this guy. We're gonna find Sakaev, and who knows? Maybe Makarov is gonna be in there. Is gonna You're gonna kill Sakaev, and Makarov is gonna take the reins for it. So, and then you send David Mason against Menendez, and you reboot Black Ops 2 in a different way. Um, you can make it like you mount clues, or like in Spec Ops. You grab Spec Ops Modern Warfare 2, you made it, instead of Classic, you make it missions with David Mason and his group hunting info for getting Menendez. And the way that it ends is the beginning of Black Ops 2. It's like you're going to, and you have to reboot it because the technological gap is so big. So it means other weapons. You want to put the M8 A1 there. You can put it as an experimental weapon and like going back. I'm not afraid to help, but still, um, it serves as an opportunity. And instead of making this, it's like you can say, well, Perseus is trying to work with Menendez, but it's like you start making pieces together in the Black Ops 2 campaign that even though you're going to capture Menendez, you're finding pieces that Perseus ain't a person, it's an organization that infiltrated the US government and the Soviet Union at its time, and now it's the Russian Federation. And they're trying to manipulate it in order for it to them establish above them. So you can do that through the campaign of Black Ops 2 while you're taking out Menendez. It's just side information that develops more and more and more, meaning that in Black Ops 3, you can put characters from this organization that you work with, and then you find out that this organization is one of Perseus's organization, and you mount a revolt against the Perseus organization. I mean, it's just you got to sit down with all your writers, and you got to put in a big, not a blackboard, but you put a marker board over there, and it's like, okay, Black Ops 2, the biggest villain in this continuity is now Perseus. How do we make Perseus a bit relevant in Black Ops 2 while you take down Menendez? Oh well, it was like informants go with Menendez and try to make a bargain, but Menendez or either shoots them or works, but it's only for it. So what do we do with this? Well, in doing that, in giving a little bit pieces of information while you hunt Menendez in Black Ops 2 and this reboot, because there's no other way, you got to reboot it. It helps you create a more established story for Black Ops 3 that connects to Black Ops 2. You cannot send it towards the future. It's almost like taking Black Ops 4, changing the number to 3, and then Black Ops 3 becomes 4, almost like. That way you can actually develop why the technology, why certain stuff are happening. It's like why they wanted the thing that's gonna like the chip on your brain. It was like a way to Perseus to actually infiltrate the big minds and start gathering information or controlling them through that. Um, it's just putting people near them that has transmitters in order for them to actually be mind controlled. Um, hey Shuni, um, I don't know about the images. I think um, I can't edit it, Shuni on it. I think I'm just gonna upload the images just to cover. Or not, am I gonna make a video on the images you send me, explaining each one of them. Okay, going back to it. So in Black Ops 2 reboot it, giving bits of information of how Perseus is trying to manipulate Menendez and joining him, but Menendez is on his own path, works. From then, you can go a little bit into the future while you capture Menendez and make it so that Perseus, uh, it's almost like because there's not many baddies that want to join him or join the organization, it's trying to it's exposing themselves a little bit more, so they're like desperate to actually have some power because they're losing it in a way. How so? An organization that maintains in the shadows has to maintain a certain dominance in that kind of world. If it's starting to lose followers in a way, even though it has a shadowy status, income, power, influence, can actually slip away, and Perseus goes into the darkness. It just disappears. So you can put it in Black Ops 3 and a little bit more in the future, not in the future of Black Ops 3. Um, I don't know, 2030 something. That Perseus is exposing themselves a little bit more because they want power, uh, but they're failing at it. And you can put in a baddie that's rising at that time, and you can insert the operators that you have in Black Ops 4 and 3 in that perspective, that they're testing technologies. They don't have their advanced movement. They just like advanced gear, armor, weaponry, night vision or pulsar vision, that kind of stuff. And that would actually make it a little bit more sense. So now the war is, instead of having a baddie for each game, it's more so the overarching story of war against Perseus. You're trying to fight. Uh, you're trying to fight an entity that is trying to control other evil entities. It's almost like what George Lucas did in his 6 movies of Star Wars, not counting Disney. Disney fucked it up. Um, that it's the Sith against the Jedi, and even though it's 6 movies, but they tell you the overarching story of one guy that's trying to bring back the Sith. In the episode 3, he gets to power. In episode 4, there's this kind of new, like it says, a new hope, but it's almost like, hey, this it's like a decrease. It's almost like a bell, not the character, but the bell, the curve, that they go up and they go down. And it also works inverse, because when you have the Jedi, they're up, and then by episode 3, they're down, while the bad guys are up. And then it's just a shift by episode 6. So that's what you have to do. You have to put Perseus in Black Ops 2 almost like it's decreasing, because the height of the power that he had was in Cold War. Because even though you stop him, you still have the threat of him with Menendez, with other baddies that are on the way, like Imran Sakaev in Modern Warfare. Um, so he's still trying to gasp power more publicly, but through other persons. Now, will they do this? Let's just cross, I don't know, prayers, cross fingers. Let's hope that they actually sit down as adults that they are, uh, write down the inconsistencies that we pointed out in the last stream and fix it. And it's like, okay, we need to reboot Black Ops 2. We got to do it in a way that it's works with Modern Warfare, the next sequel, in order for us to actually. So it's sit down, propose what you're going to do in Black Ops 2. You got to sit down with the Infinity Ward writers of Modern Warfare 2. Sorry. See what they're doing for their campaign in order for you to actually say, hey, okay, this is our campaign of Black Ops 2. Can we just have mentions or just a little bit of introduction of David Mason and his group hunting Menendez? And then we give you a story for them to actually uh, develop those characters through Spec Ops. And how Spec Ops ends, it begins Black Ops 2, the reboot. And from there, it's mentioned. And then they in Black Ops 2, you just mentioned Price, Task 141. It's like they're doing their stuff. We're going for our stuff. We're going after Menendez. You know, it will work because they capture Menendez. Modern Warfare 2 is like they got Sakai, but now they have to deal with Makarov. it's a very good way to actually conjunct this new Modern Warfare with Black Ops universe. Because imagine if they tell us, well, Modern Warfare 2, it's like fucked up that they introduced Menendez there. How are you going to introduce Woods? What's the Woods that we have in Modern Warfare is standing in his 2 feet, and if you recall in Black Ops 2, he has his kneecaps blown up in '85 because of Menendez. So, oh man. So now that we have tell how they can fix it because they have to reboot it. There's no other way. Right now, Modern Warfare 2, that it's I think it's in production. If they try to fix it through Modern Warfare 2, it's gonna be a mess up. The same mess up that J.J. Abrams and many authors that are trying to do with what they have done to their stories. Because taking, for example, the Disney Star Wars trilogy, that is messed up. They ruined it in The Last Jedi, and they try to fix and the last one it was damage control. So they had to retcon Episode 8 a lot, but it didn't work. Nobody was interested in the story. Nobody cares about those characters because they messed up on 8. It was perfectly set up for in 7. If you watch Episode 7, it's almost like perfectly set up for another type of story. And you watch 8 and there's a lot of inconsistencies that were established in previous 7 movies actually. So oh man, I just hope they don't mess up. They're very good at creating storylines and campaigns, but this of Treyarch, mm-mm. I understand that there was pressure of another game, but it was said out loud in Reddit, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. A lot of videos of content creators, uh, they were saying, "We don't care if we got a COD this, if we don't get a Call of Duty in 2020. We understand it's a pandemic. Don't rush things." So we were fine with it, but Activision wanted a Call of Duty yearly. That now, in a way, that's not listening to your audience. They're listening in the sense of way of, oh well, multiplayer or Warzone because of cheaters, um, certain glitches that are happening. But still, if you just waited, let's let's make a what if? What if they had waited it and released it? I don't know, February, March of this year. Nobody would have complained. It would have been like an off year, but nobody would have said anything like, "Oh, why you didn't release it like this?" And like, no, because we knew it was a pandemic year. They were working at home. It's not the same systems. If we would have got it in February or in March, we would be like, oh, they polished it, they fixed it. And if we look at the campaign, I think they would have done a better job to sit down, uh, read it through. It's like, oh no, we messed up here, we messed up here. Let's fix this, let's fix that. You're still paying the actors, so you can just, hey, can you log in and put in your dots, and we're gonna redo this dialogue uh, like this and that. I mean, we even uh, we did it with Call of Duty Ghosts in 3 live streams that it was like 6 hours in total. So that means in one whole day, we sat down when we started to make it make sense. Like, okay, they in real life they don't do this because blah 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 blah. So we have to create a situation that dictates blah 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 in order for blah 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 to happen. It's not that hard, and but I understand what Sarge said is that because there's a lot of minds, there's a lot of people above. They wanted to include their ideas and everything, and they don't get that it's not just to include a. It's like I want a big giraffe that has a 105 cannon on its back. It's like it's not possible, but because he's paying you, you have to put it in, and it even doesn't make sense. But they don't care. But they have to understand that for the story to make sense, even though they want ideas, still they have to they have to think about it. It's like, does it make sense for this story? Plus, they have to notice that even though they pay, they might have some ideas and they don't make sense. It's like, dude, for that, then just go and create, I don't know, a Fortnite game that is for kids that has all that bullshit. This is a first person shooter, a military person shooter that is not art. That is kind of archaic, but Infinity War is more so towards realistic than Treyarch. If you wanted like a fantasy one, go Fortnite or go PUBG. So, well, the stream was faster. Oh, because it was more so about the rebooting, but they have to do it correctly. They have to insert little bits here and there. And they have to establish it that in Black Ops 3 you're going to end it. Black Ops 4. Here's the thing. When I heard that Treyarch was doing Black Ops 4, I was like, they ran out of ideas. They literally ran out of ideas. I was expecting another game. I was expecting another type of franchise. Like Infinity, where they finished Modern Warfare, and everybody was saying, "Oh, it's gonna be Modern Warfare 4." And it's like, from where? You killed Makarov. There's no more baddies. I mean, even though Makarov was not expected, but at least it somewhat gave you the idea that if Sakayev was that big in Russia, then some of his followers might have taken mantle over him. And it was showcased in Modern Warfare 2 how it happened. It was done correctly because they sat down, they with their writers, they checked on the story. How can we make it a second one? How can we progress it in a way that it's believable? And it did. It's just a matter of checking if everything fits. And now you have it's you have to check it twice because it's not only your Black Ops franchise, it's the new Modern Warfare franchise that it's in it. And if it doesn't make sense in neither of them, or even if it makes sense in one but it doesn't make sense in the other, there's going to be a lot of conflict over there. So you have to make it make sense in both of them. Otherwise, you just lost everybody in the storyline. So nobody's going to know what's happening, and it's going to be like a Black Ops 3 in general. Everybody was just going out of it and saying, "Oh, well, this is like trade go boom. That's it." But anyways, I think I'm gonna end it because it was more so. I think we had to fit it in the in Saturday stream, but because we went long and explaining why it's not plausible in neither Black Ops, neither in the new Modern Warfare. Uh, this was more so like a quick one. I noticed that one because it took longer explaining why it doesn't make sense in each flaw. In the last one, and I think we went what, an hour and a half. So, and hey, anyways, Wednesday. Here's the thing with Wednesday. Wednesday, it's gonna be a stream, yes, but it's more so to the introduction of the characters. I'm going to introduce the ghost ones back at it. um, no, Shuni, I'm not trash talking. I'm just pointing out the flaws in order for them to fix them. So I'm helping them. It's helpful criticism. They just need to sit down and make it make sense. It's not that I don't like their games. I master Prestige Black Ops 2. That's like I had, even though I had nothing else. Well, I did have something else to do, but I master Prestige. It was my first Call of Duty master Prestige. Actually, it wasn't the first Call of Duty to actually prestige, because I never liked the prestige and like reset and everything. But because you had tokens, I was the one that actually prestige, and then I went back in Modern Warfare 3 prestige, and because they had tokens, I didn't realize it. I unlocked the ACR and just went ACR all the way. And in Black Ops 2, I went M8A1. So it's not that I don't want to work with them. I just prefer Infinity War games over Treyarch. Campaign multiplayer wise, because for me, Treyarch is more so zombies, a little bit of multiplayer, but not right now. I think that's why the only multiplayer that I like of them is Black Ops 2. It just felt so good. I think they did the pick 10 system well in that part, and then later on, just it was a mess until well, in Call of Duty Ghost wasn't a mess, but Black Ops 3 was a mess. Um, I never played 4, so I don't care. I play a little bit of Cold War just to unlock Woods to use him in zombies, and that's it. Um, but I didn't like. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like the campaigns up until 4, but Cold War, when I played it, I was like, oh, there's a lot of plot holes and inconsistencies throughout the Black Ops universe just by introducing Perseus. They messed up in that regard, and I'm just trying to help them. That's why I'm like, I point out the flaws in last stream Saturday. I point here how to fix it. That you have to reboot Black Ops 2. You got to put a new. It's not a new Menendez. It's more so you have to adjust everything towards the Modern Warfare reboot that they made. So it's like you join them a little bit in Modern Warfare 2 and you separate them from there. You cannot just force something, and you cannot force an established universe in with a new universe that is being created. Because with that, then you messed up everything. What you can do is point out that it separates in Cold War and it's a new Black Ops 2. But hey, at the end of the day, even though I'm a COD player, and right now I'm a COD streamer, and in a sense of way, a rewriter. So because of Ghost and the Ghost project, I've been writing the script for it. It's going good. The first mission is almost done. Um, I'm going for the second one. Man, when we arrive to mission 3, and well, when I arrive at writing mission 3 of Call of Duty Ghosts, it's gonna hurt. So, anyways, Wednesday, yeah, Treyarch. Here's the thing with Treyarch zombies. They're done so good that that's why everybody is like Treyarch zombies. That's it. And they try to make themselves like separate from that, multiplayer and campaign. But I think they failed on that. Sorry. It's like what happens to content creators that they're stick. I think what the problem is happening right now with Matthew Santoro. He's making in-depth videos about certain cases, but because it's not like five different things or five top 10 or five different things or 10 stuff you didn't know, blah blah blah, because he's not making those videos so much. People are not watching his content, even though this new video formats that he's pushing, and it makes him seem more mature in that regard, and it makes you wonder a lot of stuff. But the problem is, people went into his channel for the five different things, top something of something, and Treyarch is like, oh, Treyarch zombies, that's it. Hey, but you have multiplayer, we have campaigns. Yeah, but they don't have. It's like they're not so much invested in. Much of their audience is not invested in that. They're invested in zombies. What's the new spin-off? What's the new Easter eggs? New weapons, upgrades. That's the thing with them. It's a shame. It's a shame, really. I think another example that I can give that happened. Uh, that's why we know little about him. Ray William Johnson. He made Equals 3 when he left the channel, even though he had a host and he carried on. But when that host left, describing the whole videos and everything, when that host left, the successor of Ray, the channel just took a deep dive because it was like, dude, we don't we it's like, no, they're not doing it the same. They're trying to copy you or copy him, your successor. So you got no, it's like, no, shut it down. It's not the same. So he lost views. He didn't post it for a fucking long while. Now he's posting his reactions to TikTok videos or discussing uh, stupid shit that people make videos of. It's not the same. So for him to actually go up, like up here back again, it's almost like what Treyarch did with this new type of zombies. Everybody loves Outbreak, even though you have people in multiplayer, but it's not the. It feels multiplayer feels like a downgrade of Modern Warfare. So many people are still in Modern Warfare and flock for Modern Warfare because you don't have mount, you don't have lean. The system just feels so bare bones, and they had to actually. I understand that people didn't like doors, but really, you're going to a war zone, and it's like they have doors in houses, in buildings, and you use them as cover. But that's the difference between Treyarch and Infinity Ward. One's a little bit more realistic, the other one's more archaic. So, and people have their tastes. Just my taste is inclined a little bit more towards. Anyways, that was an explanation of where do I stick more. But hey, I'm trying to help. I'm trying to help Treyarch on that regard and fixing the story. It's not hate towards them. It's more so, hey, here's some help. Oh, and another thing, uh, Treyarch, if you're watching this, James would have been fine if you contact them, you didn't need a new actor for Woods. You just would tell him, hey, just act for us. If you don't like the Woods line, we understand. That's it. Like, let him just change the Wood lines. And that's it. Not the whole. Because I understand that you want to pour ideas, but he's helping you also making it make sense. So it's not so much that there's a plot on the shooting. It's more so the thing that people playing multiplayer in Cold War. It's the people that were tired of doors. An example is Exclusive Ace. Exclusive Ace didn't like the Modern Warfare multiplayer, even though it was realistic. The gunsmith was awesome. He said it was too campy, uh, and there was not a lot of flow. I understand him that there was not a lot of flow, but there were ways to actually take down campers. It was more so that you have to go in with buddies. And at the beginning, I didn't have uh, buddies for Modern Warfare, but it was more so that once I got a mic, I was like, "Who has a mic? Let's do this." Or I started announcing where's a camper and everything, so everybody was like shooting at that camper, so that camper would be killed quickly. Just personal preference, yeah. It is just personal preference in which COD you like more, like which developer. So, but anyways, glad you all came. Um, Treyarch, you need to reboot Black Ops 2, but you gotta make it make sense. With Modern Warfare 2, how it's been written in order for you to actually carry the story on in this new Black Ops timeline. Uh, who knows? Maybe it helps with the zombies, and that would be a nice way to actually just carry out the story, you know, or you can make it like because I understand what you did with Outbreak and adding maps towards it, and I think the one that will actually help more is like because you're in what 82, 83 in this new zombies timeline. Why don't you put it like in modern like with Modern Warfare weapons and then or Black Ops 2 weapons, but in the future instead of the 80s, how they evolved, or more so that everything stays. I don't know. I need to sit down with you boys and actually see what your plan with the zombies outbreak and for a reboot in Black Ops 2 is going to be. Uh, I would need to sit with Infinity Ward for the reboot of Ghosts or how they're going to manage Modern Warfare 2 or Modern Warfare 3. But anyways, as you can see, I changed the channel's name again. Makes it make more sense. You know, put a face on it. Taking advice where I can. So this is I'm gonna end the stream. Wednesday, stay tuned. We're gonna discuss the characters of this rewrite of Call of Duty Ghosts. We're gonna discuss the ghosts, and we're gonna discuss the wolf pack. I gotta tell tomorrow James that I have a surprise for him. So, anyways, stay tuned. I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna put a. I love Manil's COD channel. Yeah, makes more sense that way. Yeah, more memorable. Yep. Taking the advice of James and taking the advice of the Awfully Irish podcast. So, um, anyways, like, subscribe, share the content if you like it. You can watch my rewrite of Call of Duty Ghosts in my channel. I have it over there in the playlist. Uh, there's also me examining the Modern Warfare and how they can make it better for Modern Warfare 2 playlist. It's over there also. Um, this one is going to be like I'm mixing it into a playlist, so we're going to discuss it. Wednesday, 2 p.m. Central Time. We're going to discuss the characters of the rewrite of Call of Duty Ghosts. It's going to be the Ghost, Task Force Stalker, and it's going to be the Wolfpack, Task Force Hunter. And we're going to discuss each one of those characters because even though you're going to see them, they're going to have a little bit of changes on it because we're exploring since they're before their inception how they become ghosts, how they become Wolfpack, and how they're going to carry on through the story. Even though I have the general story in stream, but I have the details on the document. So, Infinity Ward, give me a call or send me an email. We can discuss it for this new Con Ghost story. I even have the failsafe if they want to make it into the mix it into the timelines of Blackouts and Modern Warfare for Warzone. I have it failsafe, so it's gonna be fun that one. And anyways, thank you for coming. See you all on Wednesday. Like, share, subscribe. Go watch Sergeant's Corner. He's streaming tomorrow, so go into his channel, get a reminder on, watch the Awfully Irish podcast, and don't forget to watch Jan Moore's interviews in his channel. So, Shuni, let's talk on Discord. And thanks for coming. Sorry I was late in the stream, but hey, work is work. Anyway, see you later.